It's Alexis Hasselberger, time management and productivity coach. There's a question that I get asked a lot when I'm doing workshops or when I'm working with coaching clients. And it gets asked so often that I thought, you know what, maybe you have this question too. And so I thought I would answer it here. And the question is this: does everything on my task list, everything in my task system really have a next action? Like, I feel like that's not true. I feel like, sometimes I'm waiting for people or, just sometimes there is no action for me. I just have things sitting in this holding tank. So this is something I get asked all the time. And my answer is this: yes, there's always, always, always a next action. There's always a next step that you can take. And when you break things down into the next step, it really helps you to ward off procrastination. It helps you to do the things when you kind of can break it down to get it done. It helps in a lot of ways. But sometimes we still come back to this question of, well, I just feel like, on my task list, there's stuff where it doesn't have a next action because, because I'm waiting or for some other reason, right? And so I want to address all of these kind of exceptions here, or what we may think are exceptions, because really the answer is yes, there is actually always a next step or always a next action. So waiting is the first one. People always say, well, I don't have a next action because I am waiting for someone else. You do have a next action. Your next action is to follow up. So if this person gets back to you before you needed to follow up, that's great, right? You just change your next action to whatever else is going to move it forward. But if they don't get back to you by then you're following up and you're not having to think too much about it, right? So if you're waiting for someone, your action is to follow up. Now, sometimes people also say, well, I don't even know what the next action would be. Like, it's just sitting here because I have no idea. So if you don't know what the next action is, then you want to really do one of these three things. So you want to either brainstorm, so put some time on your calendar to brainstorm about it, or you want to Google it, right? Or you want to ask somebody that you work with, maybe, or, somebody in your life who might have done this before or might have some answers or some help around this. So if you're not sure what to do, then you're going to do one of those things. You're basically going to try to get more information in some way. That becomes your next action. So it really is actionable. Now, sometimes people will say around, next actions, like the next action is, well, okay, I do have a next action. I broke it down, but I'm still procrastinating. I'm still not pushing things forward. And so usually my next question is going to be, does your next action contain the words figure out? Right? If it contains the words figure out, then it's not really a clear enough next action. It's not concrete enough. It's not small enough to be able to move something forward. When it says figure out, we're just thinking, oh gosh, that can mean any number of things, right? And that feels big. It feels amorphous. So we push it down the line. So if that's the case for you, then I want you to break it down even further. You want to make your next action something that is so simple, so clear, so concrete that when you see it, you cannot not do it, right? You're going to trick yourself into doing things by making them small enough that you look at it and you're like, yeah, I cannot even convince myself not to do that thing. So yes, everything has a next action. And if you have an example that, I haven't given all the examples here. If you have an example that you think breaks this mold, tell me in the comments, because I want to provide an answer there. So thank you so much. And if you like this video and you're not yet subscribed to our channel, go ahead and subscribe right now.
Hello, it's the video editor here, joined by
Vishwanathan Audit here.
and we're here to talk to you about the subscriber count. We reached 600, but only 8.3% of the people that are watching are subscribed. So why don't you go down and click that subscribe button? You know how much higher on the subscriber count we should be if you 90 something, 92% of the people just click the subscribe button. Like, come on, dude. Come on.